Hello, I'm Tony, and in this video we are looking at Adios, a game free from the Epic Games Store until the 2nd of February 2023. I say a game free, but it really isn't. It's a very short story. It only took me about an hour to play through, and it has some interactive elements to it. It's not even a game that's very story based. As always, I don't want to spoil the story, because it would basically render downloading this pointless. So I'll just say that it starts off with a character you play telling a friend that you are done. The implications to this seemed reasonably clear to me. There are a few mysteries that unfold, though honestly none that I found especially compelling or surprising. A couple of the mysteries, including the ending, were pretty much obvious from the beginning, I feel. Though I don't think it was trying to have any great revelations, it wasn't trying to keep it secret. The story is about grief and guilt, and portrays this via cutscenes that initially felt a bit overly dramatic, since you have no context or knowledge of the situation or the characters. But it does suit the later cutscenes a bit more, once you know what's going on. Through most of these cutscenes you have dialogue options to choose from, though at the beginning you have no clue what the answers actually mean, so they're not really meaningful choices. I suspect choosing different options unlocks others later on, since I had multiple conversations with greyed out unselectable lines. I can't prove this because I have absolutely no interest in playing through it again, because I've seen the whole story. I want to talk about the presentation too. I needed to downgrade the graphics on my not very good gaming laptop, which is not unusual, but the graphical requirement, the need for me to downgrade, is not really reflected in the game. You're presented with a 3D environment and it has a physics engine that's reasonably realistic. The characters are simply and cartoonly drawn, and the people look a little bit odd, to be honest. I mean, it's fine. The story is by far the most important thing. It just seemed odd that it needed to be made in Unreal Engine. The voice acting, though, is extremely good. The developers definitely put their money in the right place. I think you could probably listen to this as just an audiobook story. In fact, I don't know why it isn't, why this is even a game. The interactive gameplay elements don't feel especially necessary. Most of the time it just involves clicking something while listening to the dialogue. There are some skill-based games, I'm putting quotes up there, you can't see them but I am, like throwing horseshoes or skeet shooting. Towards the end you have to make a meal, which means picking up ingredients, putting them down with all the physics that's involved, picking a knife up to chop them and chucking them in a pot or pan. I truly don't know why this was there. I think it actively takes away from the tension the story has been building instead of adding to it. There isn't tons more to say about this. It's a story where you will spend most of your time listening to dialogue while doing very simple interactions. And whether you like it or not depends solely on if you enjoy the rather sombre story. There is value here for that. It's an interesting enough narrative that makes some thoughtful points about a number of serious topics, but a game it is not. Even for those that are interested in this as a story rather than a game, the subject matter and sombre nature means it isn't going to be for everyone. It isn't what I'd call like a fun time. Because of that, I can't really recommend it. Plus, I didn't even find it that compelling. It was fine. It has a ton of rave reviews, which are a bit baffling to me. I didn't think the story really deserved like 9s out of 10s. Maybe it's just because it's a bleak story in the gaming space that doesn't tend to have them. Maybe I'm just too jaded or unfeeling or something, but the reviews where people say that they cried at the end is that is not how I felt. On that rather down note, I'm going to go. So thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Goodbye.